very, very inspiring and motivating for me over the years because it's allowed me to see where do I stand? How can I continue to grow and become the best version of myself? And everyone wants to become the best version of themselves. But before I get into how do you build your personal brand through academics, I'd like to tell you where this whole concept and idea came from. For the past 20 years, a little roughly over the past 20 years, I worked in a production facility. If you can imagine working in a production facility, it's intense, it's filled with projects and assignments, and day in and day out, you have these type of assignments and things that you have to do. And day in and day out, as I continue to show up at this production facility, I was wondering, how am I getting better? How am I continuing to maximize who I am? What is the ideal version of myself? If I'm showing up every day at this production facility and impacting this place, what am I getting out of the deal? But to be completely honest with you, like many of you, the production facility that I worked in for over 20 years was a student in the classroom. Every single day showing up to this production facility and the deadlines and assignments and things that I would have to do. A lot of you are pretty much familiar. These tests and exams and quizzes and surveys and homework. Why so much homework? Day in and day out, and I'm navigating in this production facility and trying to figure out, where do I fit? I'm doing these exams and I'm taking these tests, but am I getting better? Am I getting closer to this grand idea of myself? Am I impacting individuals? Am I closer to a rock star brand, or am I not closer to a rock star brand? So every single day, as I begin thinking and navigating through the spaces of this world we all love and enjoy and embrace, academics, I began asking myself a few questions. How does academics impact my life? Every day I'm showing up. For over 20 years, I'm showing up to this place that's dominating my time, my energy, my space, my resources. How is it impacting my life? Am I consciously or unconsciously aware of the pros and the cons of academics, of the impact that it's having on my life? How does one build a brand? Everyone has heard, build a brand. What is your brand like? Is it awesome? Is it cool? Are you standoffish? Whatever it may be. And I began thinking and asking myself this question: how does one build a brand? Why does it matter? If I'm showing up and I'm holding my end of the bar and I'm doing these tests and these exams, why should I even care about that? Because I'm showing up for a particular thing day in and day out. But also, do academics and personal branding work together? Seemingly, can I become a rock star student within my academic potential, but also have this awesome and dynamic brand? Do they work together? Do they go together? Should I even be concerned and aware of what am I doing and how am I leveraging my time within this academic environment? And what could I achieve with personal branding? Could I achieve whatever my heart's deepest desire is to someday chart my own course in life and be someone that's legendary and phenomenal and rock star and incredible? Questions I began to ask myself every day as I showed up to my production facility. Which led me to wanting to ask a few questions. What is a brand? I hear it. People talk about it. But what is it, right? A set of perception and expectations that separate something or someone that sets you apart. But why should I care to set myself apart? I mean, every single day I show up and I wear the similar type of clothes and I'm sitting in the exact same chair and I'm looking at the same teacher or professor every single day. So why should I care to set myself apart when it seems as though the platform and the opportunity and everything that I'm trying to do is already set up in front of me? I just have to show up and follow this path, right? But then it went into academics. What is academics, right? Something, right, of or relating to someone in pursuit of education or scholarship. That's straightforward, right? Showing up, learning some information, acquiring new information to someday, somehow, get a job and apply what I learned in this academic experience. And the more and more I began to observe these things and experience these things day in and day out, it led me to wondering, what's in my academic toolbox? This toolkit of mine. Am I putting in the right things? Is it just tests and quizzes and exams and surveys and homework? Why so much homework? Like, oh my gosh. The question of the millennium. But at any rate, I digress. But what am I putting in this toolkit? And as I observed other rock star students and individuals who are navigating through their academic experience and wondering, what's in their toolkit? Is it just the tests and exams? Maybe it's organizations. Maybe it's trips. Maybe it's different languages. Maybe it's different experiences, different books. Are they well read? What are they putting in their toolkit that I'm missing? And it led me to one of my favorite authors and speakers of all time, Zig Ziglar, and he says, if people like you, they'll listen to you. But if they trust you, they'll do business with you. And it made me think, well, if I'm showing up every day and I'm trying to leverage and build this academic, and I'm on this academic journey, why should I be aware of the bigger me who's trying to impact and ultimately be inspiring and become this great version of myself? But what was so inspiring from this quote from Zig Ziglar, it made me realize the power of branding plus academics. A lot of things that's not necessarily showcased and told, but it's relevant, right? So if I show up to class every day and I leverage the connections from the students that I'm in classes with, and I challenge myself and I challenge the professors and teachers, and I continue to try to get better and aware of my social self and my social identity, it increases my confidence. I want to show up to class. I want to raise my hand. I want to get engaged instead of just showing up and being disengaged from my academic experience. But then also when I'm aware and conscious of this, it also leads to increased performance. I want to do better. I want to get better. I want to feel better. I want to tap into the inner rock star that I am. And the more and more I get involved, guess what? It leads to increased visibility. The more I challenge my professors and I connect with students from all across the world in my different academic classes, and then I join certain organizations and I build these friendships and these connections, it increases my visibility, that more and more people begin to understand the true rock star power and potential of the brand, the bigger me that I have. And ultimately what we all want is what? Access to more opportunities. Whether it's party invites, whether it's trips, it's vacations, it's whatever it may be, the more and more that you understand the power of your brand and your academic experience and the two that once you integrate it, we all get access to more opportunities. So as I'm going through this journey and I'm realizing the power of branding and academics, it made me realize the students, the rock star students and individuals that I began seeing and witnessing on campuses in this production facility that I showed up every single day was these individuals were not making A's. It wasn't students who were just making A's. So if you want to build your personal brand through academics, stop making A's. That's a joke. Do not tell your parents that I said don't make A's. You go to school and you do your best, okay? However, but I was realizing that these individuals were concentrating more on C's. C's are good. And I thought the C's were phenomenal. So if you want to build your personal brand through academics, concentrate less on A's and more on C's. That is also a joke. Make sure you do your very best when you're in school. But the C's that I started realizing and identifying with these rock star students was consistency. Consistency, and they were consistently doing a certain thing, and consistency. And if you don't believe the guy up here, this guy wants you to be consistent. Consistently aware of, why are you showing up to class? Is it just to take notes and take exams and surveys and quizzes and do homework? Why so much homework? Right? But consistently aware of the way that you're presenting yourself, those perceptions and expectations, and now your classmates and your friends and this community is beginning to understand and becoming very aware of the bigger brand in you. So that led me to understanding that there's two types of brands. There's this default brand versus our desired brand. What is it? Why does it matter? And I started realizing, just like many of you, when I was in school at this certain production facility and I would go to class and not really understanding the power of personal branding and academics and how I could leverage and integrate the two, I would go to class, I would take the notes and take the exams, and then, you know where I'm going, back to the dorm room, and, you know, I have my favorite position, and got to have pizza, right? Add a little bit of popcorn. You have to have potato chips, right? A little bit of dessert. Cell phone. If you don't have a cell phone, you're dismissed. But at any rate, I digress, right? Now you want to tap into social media and all of the different connections and other individuals who are building their personal brand and leveraging their connections from their academic classes and their academic community. And okay, if you want to feel like you actually came to school, right? You have some books and somewhere in your dorm room or some space, and you're actually doing some things, right? But this is where unconsciously or consciously every single day I was consistently going to my academic course classes, and I'm building myself into this personal brand. And I would lock myself in this bubble in this room and, oh, I have so much assignments and projects and deadlines I have to hit that I don't want to get myself involved and build this bigger brand of mine because I didn't understand why it mattered. But then I realized one day, I said, who could my desired brand be? And I quickly realized I want to be someone who's well-dressed, well-traveled, and well-connected. And I could leverage all of this throughout my academic experience, my academic classes, right? So if we quickly just compare the two, within my default brand, surely I could have the stigma of myself of trustworthy, respectful, and a good student, but I wasn't known to my campus community. I wasn't building a brand. But when I started observing some of the rock star students and individuals who had these mega brands that I admired from a distance, they were involved. They were risk takers. They were leaders in organizations on campus, and they were taking advantage of certain opportunities because they realized the power of their personal brand and academics, and they integrated it into their experience to ultimately impact their bigger version of themselves. So with all that being stated, what does it really take to build your personal brand through academics? And I broke it down into 5 areas. What is your mission and vision for yourself? Have you even thought about creating a mission and vision for your academic experience, for your personal brand? What does it look like? What is it, right? What are your core values? What are the core values that any of your friends, your peers, your professors, they know about you, that you stand true to these core things? What are they? What are you passionate about? Are you passionate about something of making a difference, or getting involved in inspiring a generation, and all of these different things? What are you passionate about? And how could you leverage now your academic experience and all of the opportunities that that academic experience provides for you to tap into your true passions in life? And then also then being willing to rid yourself from certain distractions. And then finally, realizing that consistency is key. Are you willing on consistently being in tune with your own personal star player, and every day not only just showing up to classes, but now meeting new people, potentially learning new languages, joining new organizations. And every single day you're getting better and better until you get to the ideal version of the brand that you see for yourself. Here's a picture of myself when I was in college. My mission, once I understood the power of branding and academics, was to build my personal brand by maximizing my experiences in my academic classes, through those academic connections, and then through my academic community. There's a large community of individuals from all around the world that you can learn and grow from to ultimately impact the bigger version of yourself. And I started realizing that, and it started accelerating my growth as it related to my academic experience. And then my vision for myself was to leave college with a full-time job offer or start my own business, which I started. I'm so educated and have traveled the world internationally and domestically, inspiring over 40,000 students to activate their greatness, to pay attention to what it is that they're trying to do and leverage their academic experience within that personal brand for themselves, and then someday create whatever it is that they want to do within their future. What are those core values? My core values every single day, if I knew it, if I didn't, people knew that I stood for integrity. I had some sense of integrity about myself. I strove and strive every single day for excellence. It doesn't mean that I made all A's, but I knew that I was going to give myself, and I was going to put my best foot forward every single day. And people knew it. If he doesn't know it, I know he's going to try his best. And if he doesn't know it, he's connected to someone that's going to allow him to get the best result possible within his experience, and so forth and so on. And then passion. I realized that my passion was inspiring students, making a difference, being involved in. I realized, wow, there's so many student organizations I can get involved in, so many volunteer opportunities, so many different things that I can leverage my academic experience and meet incredible people who might share some of the same passions that I have to create new friendships. And these new friendships can create new opportunities, access to these new opportunities that have literally traveled the world because I know people all across the United States, internationally, and I just have to make a phone call and say, hey, I'll be in your area. Can I come visit? Of course. But I use my academic opportunity to use and leverage those connections within my passions. And then finally, the final two is eliminating distractions. Social media is not bad, but if social media becomes so geared around seeing what everyone else is doing, and you're not leveraging social media for your own personal branding, your own academic connections, and your own academic experience, how can you limit that until you begin to get in tune with your software? And realizing that consistency is key. Are you bold and brave enough to be consistently ready to work towards building your personal brand every single day? Are you bold and brave enough every single day to leverage your academic experiences? Now when you show up and you say, hey, it's not just the professor that I want to build a connection with. It's all of the students and my peers that have a different story, who come from a different place, who have a different journey, who might literally be aligned with my core values. And now I can build something that's so great. And when people see me and identify with me, they realize that, wow, this person is awesome. This person is unique. This person is dynamic. This person is phenomenal. Consistency is key. One of my favorite authors, Malcolm Gladwell, says, practice isn't the thing you do once you're good. It's the thing you do that makes you good. It's not a coincidence that some students excel in their college experience or their academic experiences sometimes better than others. What are they doing to really say, man, school is awesome. I mean, I really had a great time. I traveled the world. I did some phenomenal things, and now I can literally write my own ticket because I maximized this opportunity. Well, sometimes other individuals don't necessarily have the same type of experience because they're not realizing the power of personal branding in academics, how it can increase confidence, it can increase performance, increase visibility, and ultimately lead to access to more opportunities. You have to have your mission vision. You have to realize your core values. Begin to define every single day what you're passionate about. Be bold and brave enough to eliminate certain distractions from yourself and realize that consistency is key. So will I say, did I maximize my academic experience at my production facility for over 20 years to reach my desired brand? Absolutely. Because at the end of my journey, I wanted to be well-dressed, and I achieved that. I wanted to be well-traveled, and I achieved that. And most importantly, I wanted to be well-connected, and I achieved that. And I'm here today to say, with a little bit of consistency, you all will continue to activate the inner rock